House in Baltimore and Michael's Cafe and Timonium is all brought to you by our friends at Free My Mortgage. Don't make a 30-year mistake by choosing the wrong lender. They're clapping out of. It's all awkward around here. Alex Lewis is here from the Baltimore Ravens. He is our guard, and we're going to ask any more positional questions. Luke's going to grill you now on the CBA. Go ahead, Luke.
On the CBA, my goodness. Well, he was talking about guaranteed money and all
right,
that. Just in a general sense, not his own situation.
Your kid's going to be a baseball player, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Guaranteed money?
Guaranteed money.
No tough practices in the middle of the week, none of that stuff?
No hard hitting. Your body's saved. The only downside is they're playing 182 games?
162.
162 games.
So more if you make the playoffs.
That's crazy.
So you were always the biggest kid in your class? Were you in the class photo in the back? No, you were not that guy.
No, I didn't.
How did football come to you? I want to hear this story.
Well, my dad didn't let me play football until I was 13. I didn't hit my growth spurt until my sophomore year of high school. I was 5'8" as a freshman.
Wow.
220. I was a little chunker.
Whoa, really?
And then I sprouted to 6'2" my sophomore year. And then from sophomore year to senior year, I only went from 6'2" to 6'4". And then as I got into college, I grew another 2 inches in college. And then by the time I was about 22, I was finally done growing. And I stopped right at 6'6".
I want to see a picture of you at 5'8", 225.
It's not pretty.
I was going to say, you had to go from nose tackle to left tackle then. Right? I mean, basically?
No, basically, yeah. I was backup bench warmer,
If I knew you in ninth grade to think that you're in the National Football League, it would be very far-fetched.
Very far-fetched. And that's why a bunch of my friends from back home always give me a tough time. So.
Well, at what point did it occur to you that you could be good at this?
Oh,
because I think it's the first thing for anybody with sports. I mean, we all wanted to play, right? But some of us were better at some things than others.
I say for some reason, but I know the exact reason. My dad always told me, "Oh, you're going to be big. You're going to be a giant. You can play this game." And I always believed him. And then, sure enough, I was upset my freshman year because all these kids are tall. And
Dad, where's this growth spurt coming?
I'm going to be this giant, and then finally it happens, and I don't stop growing. He always called the Lewis's late bloomers. He didn't stop growing until he was 23. Same with my grandfather on my father's side. So
what are you officially right now? If I seriously strip your scale, legitimate height and weight right now, as you know yourself to be.
6'6", 309.
Wow. When your career's over, do you see the Harry Swains of the world and the Mike Flynn's and the
I envy
Matt
them
Burks?
when they lean out.
Yeah, but you don't look awkwardly. You're not. I mean, I don't want to use the F word because I don't want to fat shame anybody. But I mean, you're not there are bigger body guys. This looks sort of natural to you. You look like you would have been a power forward. I mean, did you play basketball or no?
Oh, no, I was terrible at basketball. I actually played lacrosse. I was a lacrosse player.
I saw that in your bio.
You picked all wrong, dude. I totally don't have you at all. Did you play baseball?
No, I played T-ball for 1 year and
But you're a Phoenix kid, so baseball's ubiquitous where you're from, though, right?
But
your friends play baseball.
Enjoy it. Yeah, some of my friends did. I just didn't enjoy baseball. It bored me. There wasn't any contact. It was slow paced. I'd be out on second base, just standing there, got no action. I hated it. I hated it.
So lacrosse and football
and track.
A lacrosse, discus shot put, that sort of thing. J.O. did all that stuff, man. So, I mean, a lot of the O-linemen come from that background. But lacrosse in Phoenix, tell me about this.
Yeah, lacrosse was a club sport in Phoenix. It wasn't a team, a high school sponsor.
They play that around here, right?
Kind of a big deal.
It's a huge deal on the East Coast.
Yeah, this is
I got family from Harrison, New York, and that's where I learned as a kid what lacrosse was, because every Thanksgiving we go up to Harrison, New York.
Where's Harrison? Is that Long Island, White Plains?
By Westchester area.
White Plains. Okay, it's up that way. Because he went to Syracuse, so that's another.
I went to Syracuse for 2 years.
That's a whole lacrosse
thing.
I didn't play lacrosse, though.
Yeah, but growing up, I would go to lacrosse camps with my cousins out here on the East Coast, so that's how I got into it. And then, I found out that we have a club sport in high school, and I joined the club team and played defense. And then my last 2 years, I played forward. I was a crease man, but I wasn't very good at it, and that's why I chose to stick with football.
I would think that would help your footwork, though, for football.
Oh, 100%. Footwork, hand-eye coordination, timing of hits. Because when you hit in lacrosse, your hands have to be together, and it's a lot like an offensive lineman where you want your hands together in the run game or when you go to punch. on the pass protection. So
I never thought about it like that. I'd never heard lacrosse and football. Everybody in lacrosse says that means hockey.
But Jim Brown, one of the greatest football players ever, one of the best lacrosse players.
Well, everyone would say one of the. You're a student of the game. I mean, I was over here having a meal with you, having a delicious crab cake here at Michael's, and they are delicious.
They are very delicious.
They were delicious.
Yeah.
And you were telling me about like the 1936 Olympics, and I was not aware that you were like a host student athlete for a family in Boulder, Colorado, and you were Colorado, right?
Yeah, they hosted me. Bill and Vicky hosted me, and they're huge Olympic fanatics. I mean, they've been to every Olympic since the 1950s, and I mean, it was awesome to go into their house, and they would have us a meal with us once a month. And I mean, just to see all the memorabilia from all the different Olympics. I mean, these people are so serious. They got tattooed with the Olympic rings on them. Like, it was really cool.
Well, we started talking about Germany, and it's like Berlin, and he's like 36 Olympics, and I'm like, dude, you went to Nebraska. They don't teach you that there, man.
No, they don't.
You have to pick that up on the internet,
I
right?
give that one to Bill and Vicky for sure, right there, and Jesse Owens for sure.
And we brought that part of it up too. Luke Jones is with us. Alex Lewis from the Ravens is here. It's all brought to you by Free Mob Mortgage. We're swapping for the Bone Marrow Registry, and there goes my hero. You can always send me a note out if you're interested in getting on the Bone Marrow Registry. We can send you out to the DKMS as well to get a kit, get swabbed, save a life. We just had the numbers. I think it's 236 swabs that have now been converted from There Goes My Hero. Mary Kay Diabaldo's here from the There Goes My Hero. Is it 236? Is that the right number? 236.
236 matches, 26 lives.
26 lives saved from
awesome.
There Goes My Hero.
Awesome.
So that's what we're doing out here. I want to get back to the Germany thing with you because I'm going to bring my wife up for the next segment because you have this Germany story about your grandfather. I mean, you're an interesting cat. You're like an old soul, man, like an old cat or something like that. That you have all these stories, but you are fluent in German because you said, like, you're studying football and you're studying how to be a center, how to be a guard, what the linebackers doing. Then you just took on the German language at some point in your childhood, literally, right? Like, you became addicted to learning it.
I did, but that's because, my grandfather, he spoke it really well. He was from Germany, and then growing up, I just studied it all throughout high school and all throughout college. And then when I was at Nebraska for 3 years, I lived with my grandfather, so we'd be, at the ranch, and, he would speak German to me, and, he'd teach me different dialects, of understanding the language, because it's a very harsh language. It's in the back of your throat. I mean, it's not a pretty language.
Save my wife's life. You think I don't want to learn a little? Danke schön. I mean, I'm working on a little bit, but when I'm over there, it's so intimidating that you don't try.
Well,
it's very hard to try.
A lot of dogs like in the police force and whatnot are trained under German commands because dogs respond so well to it because it's such a strict and stern language.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, it's a strict and stern society. I took Niels up to New York after you met him 2 years ago because you did the show, then you got hurt, then he came over, then you met him.
Yep.
I took him up to New York. He refuses to cross until the light changes on the side streets in New York because, like, in Germany, you don't cross the street till it changes. You just don't do that. It's against the rules, and we have rules, and we follow the rules, and that's the way we do things.
Yep. Yeah, my grandfather always telling me don't put your silverware until you're done. Like, don't put it down until you're done eating. I mean, that was like the way he grew up is if you always had your silverware in your hands, you were letting your waitress know that you weren't done eating. But the moment you put it down, they would come clear your plate because you were done eating.
Maybe that's why they always try to take my food. I didn't think of that. I'm going to hold on to my fork.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it. You have a German teammate this year.
Chris.
What's his last name pronunciation? Izzy?
I
feel better that you don't know either.
Yeah,
but he's part of the international program this year. He's on the practice
squad. Which is a great program. I mean, you guaranteed 2 years on the team.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome to have guys. And they got him. They have the big guy who played rugby from Australia, right? What's his name?
I can't remember. He's with the Eagles, right?
Yeah, he's with the Eagles
They think he's going to be a legitimate
left
tackle at some
point. That's
point.
awesome to see, give opportunity to guys worldwide. I mean, it's exciting stuff.
Got to brush up on your German a little bit.
I did. I went up to him and I said, "Oh, you speak Deutsch?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, wirklich." And I'm like, "Yeah." And so we sat there and we talked about how I learned German and whatnot. And I told him where my family was, and it was a cool connection to have. I mean,
you spent time over Germany, though, right? I mean, that was you've been over there.
Yeah, I've been over there twice.
And I guess traveling makes even going to the Wembley last year. I mean, a lot of our fans went over, game aside, knee aside, all that stuff. Just seeing a different culture and being exposed to that, it changes everything, especially for a young person.
It's always fun to experience a different culture, you know. Like this offseason, I went to Thailand, you know, and got to experience the Thailand culture. I mean, it was Thai people, one of the nicest people.
Just like The Hangover, right?
No, but I'm a giant there. I mean, they looked at me in fear at some points because I was a giant.
Like the little boy did here earlier.
Yeah.
You are a big man.
I'm a much bigger man there than I am here.
Thailand, you know, everything's $5, right?
Yeah, everything, yeah.
Everything.
500 baht, yeah.
Perfect.
So,
good times?
It was good times. Beautiful beaches. I mean, awesome limestone mountains right up on.
Did you go to Phuket?
No, I did not go to Phuket.
I'm a little weirded out from the tidal wave, man. That kind of like.
Oh yeah.
I know that can happen anywhere. Right?
Anywhere,
but the fact that it happened there. I'm a Man with the Golden Gun guy, James Bond.
Yeah.
That was all filmed in Phuket.
Yep.
I took my wife to Hong Kong. Man with the Golden Gun was also filmed in Hong Kong.
Nice.
In Lan Kwai Fong. We had some fun there, man. Absolutely. I'll get you up next segment. He's gonna teach you German, so you can talk to the guy that saved your life. Any more football questions for him, Luke? Because I want to get you, but you got camp tomorrow. Both of you got to work tomorrow.
Yeah, we got jobs.
I'm taking my wife to see Bruno Mars.
I mean, 2 weeks.
Bucket list.
2 weeks in, Alex. I mean, you guys had the great performance in week one where, I mean, you threw the ball at will, very aggressive. Buffalo, I don't think, was prepared for it, but didn't run the ball a whole lot. And then last week, unfortunately, you guys fall behind early. As an offensive line, how much are you itching to get the running game going? I mean, I know every single offensive lineman I've talked to over the last 9 years I've covered the Ravens, they love to run block.
Yeah.
And I just have to think you guys are really in a mode now where, okay, let's pound the rock a little bit.
No, absolutely. As an offensive lineman, you always want to get the run game going early, and that's going to help out your whole team. It's going to get the safeties down in the box. Hopefully you get an 8-man box, and then next thing you know, you can hit them with a play action. But, it's a good thing that last week happened to us very early in the season because we're able to figure out, all right, let's correct it now, get it out the way. And we got the next 14 weeks to improve off of this. And then when you get find your weaknesses early and you can work on those and strengthen those, then you're going to be a deadly force. And then like you said, we got down in the hole early last week. And it's always hard to get your run game going when you go down like that and you don't have a hot start on offense. So, we just got to come out next week. We have to have a hot start, and get the offense moving early. And then when you do that, your run game opens up. And then when your run game opens up, then that's when all your passing does too. So, as a unit, we're excited to go into this week, and, it's going to be an emphasis of ours.
What have been your impressions of Joe D'Alessandris and Greg Roman? I know, unfortunately, you didn't play last year, but when you look at the injuries you guys had early on, you go out during preseason, Marshall goes out in week 2. But over the course of the season, you got the group gelled. You ran the ball, I think, much better than anyone had thought you would, perhaps. Yeah. And especially after the last couple of years, not really running the ball as much as you guys would like. What has it been like working with those two, especially Greg Roman with his reputation? Basically, anywhere he's been, where he's been involved in that offense, they've been able to run the ball. Both coaches have done a great job here. Joe D with the O-line, what he was able to do last year with us. I think we were ranked top 5 in sacks given up. I mean, so he did a hell of a job. And 2 of us went down right away for him to bounce back like that and get a unit going together. And then Coach Roman, I mean, like you said, he's legendary run scheme. I mean, he's got a great mind, football mind. When you come to running the game and. To have that influence in the locker room and in the meeting rooms, I mean, on the field, I mean, it's awesome to learn underneath guys like that, And Joe D's been in the game so long that small world. He coached my dad. Right. I remember that last year.
Mad Dogs, and so I mean, to learn from guys that've been in the game for 40+ years, and combined, I think it's like 60-some years.
That's badass. Because the other night, Marvin, I looked on the roster, Hardy Nickerson Jr. was rushing in on you. Marvin coached his dad in Pittsburgh. I mean, that's generational. And you start to talk about how much the game has evolved and the game has changed. For these guys that have been around all this time and have seen all the changes, they are the creatures of this league that have been through all of the changes.
Just to see the knowledge that just those 2 guys alone have, I mean, they're awesome to have on our coaching staff, and I'm thankful for it.
Alex Lewis is our guest. We're out here on behalf of Fremont Mortgage. We're at Michael's Cafe in Timonium. By the way, they're opening a new Michael's over in White Marsh, so that's a little heads up for everybody out there. Also brought to you by Cole Roofing. Bill Cole will be here later on in the week. We're going to talk some Ravens football as well. All of our community and charity series work brought to you by Cole Roofing. You going to bid him adieu? You done? You got any more football questions?
I think I've drilled him enough. I mean, we're 2 weeks in.
Yeah,
1-1, you're fine.
Yeah.
You know, brush off last week, and then you're right back on the horse.
Exactly. You know, we got a long season ahead.
Absolutely.
Let's run the ball, do the Irish jig. That's
Run
what I'm
the ball,
talking about.
right?
Oh, I would love to see that.
We'll come back. We'll conclude things with Alex Lewis. We're out here at Michael's Cafe in Timonium. We are WNST.net, AM 1570, and WNST Towson, Baltimore. We never stop talking Baltimore sports.